We're going to be doing our speech analysis presentation on Trump and his eve of the 4th of July speech. I'm Bowen.
And I'm Wade.
So let's get into it. So we're going to be covering the introduction, why the speech was made, who made the speech, how it works, how Trump uses body language, how he uses his speaking skills, how he makes eye contact with the audience, how he organizes his speech, and how he uses his voice.
So, introduction. Donald Trump's eve of 4th of July speech of tribute at Mount Rushmore. The subject is American heroes and patriotism, and the occasion is the eve of Independence Day, obviously. So, the audience is also, obviously, to Americans, and the purpose is to pay tribute to the 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore and to all the American heroes who have served in wars, like veterans or first aid workers who have fought to combat the coronavirus, and to inform about the National Garden of American Heroes. Speaker, Donald Trump.
Alright, so body language. Trump, he uses very simple body language. So his body language is mostly to instill a sense of patriotism, because obviously it's the eve of the 4th of July, you want to be patriotic. So basically he uses hand gestures only in certain moments where it's trying to give the crowd a sense of like pause and response, or to cheer. He also tilts his head while speaking, and that's mostly because he's trying to think of what to say, how to make it. And he also wants to let the crowd know that he knows what he's talking about, so he's always looking at different people. Overall, 3.
So, eye contact. Throughout the speech, Trump is always looking at the audience because his speech is not written down. His speech was made up on the spot, extemporaneous. And this is a good example. There's no audio. So he actually points at an audience member because the audience member responded to his comment. So yeah, he scores a 3 in eye contact. Okay, speaking skills. So Donald Trump likes to list things a lot. So as we see here, in doing so, they would destroy the very civilization that rescued billions from poverty, disease, violence, and hunger, and that lifted humanity to new heights of achievement, discovery, and progress. To make this possible, they are determined to tear down every statue, symbol, and memory of our national heritage. And yeah, also another great use of language is, and it would turn our free and inclusive society into a place of repression, domination, and exclusion. They want to silence us, but we will not be silenced.
Alright, so organization. So each paragraph is very motivational, trying to instill a sense of patriotism again. Fits the celebratory mood and patriotic mood really well. He also ties in his political agenda, which was an executive order to protect national monuments like this. So you can see here, I signed last week pertaining to the Veterans Memorial, Preservation Memorial and Recognition Act and other laws. This was during the time of like George Floyd, a lot of like civil rights activists, taking down statues. Yeah. And that's the video. And then you also see here that he also ties in his political agenda here. Americans' heroes are embedded in our hearts. America's future is in our hands. In monuments we created to inspire us all. This is also pushing.
Okay, so voice, yeah. Donald Trump scores a 3 in voice overall. He maintains a steady, confident tone that's not too loud or too soft. Yeah.
Alright, so language, for the most part, this speech was basically improvised. He had a couple of bullet points to go off of, like people he needed to speak about, American history he needed to speak about, but for the most part, this speech was improvised. Patriotic elements included. That's a big point of this. And he did really well to address the crowd and the politicians because he had 2 different audiences. As you can see here, he's described American heroes as gallant or intrepid, and then he switched from using gallant or intrepid to great and great.
So, final statement, Trump overall is a very well-rounded speaker. He has a lot of experience and it shows through his speaking. he is also good at adapting to his audience because, well, his entire speech was spoken extemporaneously. And he has a good connection with his crowd due to his body language and eye contact. His patriotic words really moves the audience. So yeah, he's basically him.
So this is our thesis. Donald Trump's Eve of 4th of July speech is an exceptional example of his speaking skills and his public presence. These are our resources, and thank you very much for listening to our presentation.